They lie, the men who tell us, for reasons of their own. Some of you will be very familiar with that line. It comes from Henry Lawson's most haunting poem, Faces in the Street. I hadn't read it for years, then, for no apparent reason, when scanning through my bookcase early in 2014, I came across a book, I flicked to a random page, and there it was, staring right back at me. From that moment, I wanted to know more about Henry Lawson the man, not so much about his writings, but the man and the times in which he lived. That research inevitably led to me finding out more about Banjo Paterson as well. And here we are now talking about the book Henry and Banjo. One of the most important parts of researching this book was a trip I took back going to the childhood areas of both Henry and Banjo in country New South Wales, to Henry's birthplace Grenfell, where some of the bones from the gold mining period remain, to Urundri, where he went to school and he spent much of his early years on a selection. It was harsh country, a foundation, as it turned out, for a hard life. On the other hand, Banjo, born at Narambla near Orange, rolling hills, beautiful country, and after a brief stay at Buckenbar, a station near Yeovil, he moved to Illawong near Bynalong, mountain country that developed in him a sense of romance for the bush. The differences between Henry and Banjo were apparent right from their childhoods. They were born only 3 years apart, and as the years grew, the differences became more apparent. And it's these that I've concentrated on in the book to try to create, as it were, a narrative spine. As it turned out, Banjo became a man around town, a top-end-of-town guy, I suppose you could say, with a lot of social connections. Henry, on the other hand, well, he was a tragedy. A walking, living, breathing tragedy. He did have his high times, particularly when he was with his most important mates, where he became a real social creature. But the flip side to that, he was a loner. He battled depression. He battled deafness since he was a boy. And of course, he had his infamous battles with alcoholism. So what I've done in the book, I've thrown their lives together, mixed it in with the times, and hopefully come up with a very strong narrative that takes all the readers, and the writer as well, back to a time and place. Welcome to Henry and Banjo. I hope you enjoy the read, and in finishing, all I really want to say is, may storytelling go on forever.